Hi, my name is Zakaran, and welcome to another one of my outrageously amazing, insanely enlightening master keys of creation about how to create and attract the joy, well-being, and abundance that you desire, and how to be the unlimited master of creation that you truly are to literally make all your dreams come true. And you'll find tons of more awesome, empowering videos, podcasts, articles, books, products, support, and guidance at Zakaran.com to help you easily create and attract the happiness, health, wealth, abundance, and freedom that you desire. All right, so here we go. Crap therapy for law of attraction psychology principles to create absolutely amazing relationships and a truly happy, abundant, and fulfilling life by not talking about your problems and instead focusing on solutions and focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want. One of the classic talk therapy and relationship strategies that really just makes things worse is talking about problems and the need from one partner to get the other partner to listen to their big ass problem to basically prove and convince the other person how wrong they are and how their behavior is so despicable so that they will change that behavior to make the other partner happy. This supposed talk therapy or relationship discussion that supposedly is designed to fix problems in relationship really just makes the other partner as depressed as the partner who needs them to fix the problems. The motivation is to get the other partner to empathize enough and to feel their pain, the pain that they feel, so that you'll feel bad and alter your behavior so that they will feel better and act in different ways to make them happy, etc., etc. Then they basically become as depressed as the partner with the issue, which allegedly proves how much you care for them because you empathize with their problem. And all I have to say is that is some fucked up relationship psychology. This is a classic relationship sabotage pattern that so many people fall into, especially if they are the kind of person that needs to be heard and to be understood. And if you're not listening to their sad, depressed, or angry rant about what you did wrong, well, you're a bad lover, you're a bad husband, or you're a bad wife. The major problem here is talking about problems only makes you sadder and more depressed and feel more helpless and more powerless and gets you absolutely nowhere because you're focused on the problem, not the solution. Talking about problems makes everyone feel bad because anytime you focus on what you don't want, well, your source, who you truly are, is focused not on what you don't want, but is solely 100% focused on what you do want. So if you're focused on what you don't want and don't like, you're out of sync with who and what you truly are as source. Your source only focuses on solutions and on problems. In fact, your source never even sees anything as a problem. Your source only focuses on what you want, not on what you don't want. So the only truly effective therapy, in my extremely wise and humble opinion, is to only talk about what you positively want in your life, not what you don't want. Because whatever you focus upon, you energize and create more of that and attract more of whatever you're focused on. If you need to talk about your problems to try to get to the bottom of the issue and somehow overcome that issue, and especially to get other people to understand how you feel about the issue so that they will alter their behavior so that you can now be happy because they've changed their behavior, well, I have bad news for you because there is no bottom to your problems, and you can dig until you hit China and if you strike gold and discover your core issue that is the source of all your problems, well, that still won't work because you're still focused on problems, which only creates more problems. It only attracts more problems. That's how the law of attraction works. This is not an exclusive based universe. This is an inclusive based universe. Whatever you include, positive or negative, you attract more of that. So if you are just including lots of negative crap, well, then you're just going to attract more negative crap because the universe goes, oh, okay, I see that he or she likes lots of crap, so let's give her more crap. And it is no one's job to alter their behavior so that you can be happy. Did you get that? It is no one else's job to alter their behavior so that you can be happy. No one, no one, no one, no one, no one, no one, no one. It's your job to make yourself happy. And it's not your job to alter your behavior to make anybody else happy. Therapy shouldn't take years or even months or even weeks, and certainly not decades. And sorting out relationship issues shouldn't take years or even months or even days or even moments. But only, well, okay, maybe an hour. Not even that. That's too much. That's way too much to bang on about a problem. It should only take minutes because life is very simple. Psychology is very simple. Once you understand how the law of attraction works. So, law of attraction, psychology principle number 1. All anyone wants is to be happy. And the only way to be truly happy is to focus on good feeling things. Things that you like, love, and appreciate. And pay no attention to things you don't like and don't appreciate. So if you're focused on things you don't like, don't appreciate about your partner, well, you're never going to be happy. And you're never going to create a good partner, and you're certainly not going to get your current partner to change because it's not their job to change, and you can't control them in the first place. All right, so law of attraction, psychology principle number 2, which is really an addendum to psychological principle number 1, which is don't talk about your problems. Only talk about solutions. Don't talk about what you don't like and don't want. Talk about what you do want. Talk about what you do like, love, and appreciate. And, of course, when you do that, you attract more things you like, love, and appreciate from everyone, including your partner. All right, so law of attraction, psychology principle number 3. Give up your desperate need to be heard and understood, and give up your codependent need for your partner, lover, and friends and family, etc., to act in pleasing ways to make you happy. Because no one can ever truly understand you, and it's not their job to understand you anyway, and it's certainly not their job to act in pleasing ways to keep you happy. It is not anyone else's job to make you happy. Did you get that? It is not anybody else's job to make you happy. That is your job and your job alone. And of course, the reciprocal is true. It is not your job to make anybody else happy. And try as you might to be heard and understood, the fact of the matter is no one else feels like you do, and no one else can create for you because no one else can vibrate for you, and no one else can feel for you, and no one else can think for you, etc. And no one else can ever truly understand you because no one else is you. Nobody else is walking in your moccasins. They might be stupid enough to sit and listen to your poor me sad story of how you've been done wrong and how no one listens to you or no one understands you or he, she, it doesn't seem to love you or respect you anymore. Poor me. But they're never going to understand you because they are not you. They don't live in your skin, baby. And your poor me victim story is complete bullshit anyway because there is no such thing as victims in this or any universe of the universe of universes. And if you feel the need to be heard and understood and empathized with, Not only will you feel bad, but the poor, unfortunate soul who is listening to your tales of woe is just going to want to hang themselves. And it's going to be your freaking fault. And at the risk of being very generally stereotypical, this classic, I need to be heard and understood and listened to, and we need to get to the bottom of this issue, and we need to fix this problem, is a classic sabotage pattern that women fall into. But anyone who needs to be heard in order to feel better, well, they need, and who need empathy from others so that they don't feel alone and abandoned. It's the classic misery does love company scenario. Because our natural state of being is joy, well-being, and abundance. And depression, illness, and lack are limited illusions that must be energetically maintained to keep them in physical reality, because they're not real, they're not true, they're not our natural state of being. So you got to keep shoring them up and shoring them up and talking about them to keep them alive. Otherwise, if you stop talking about them, well, then what will actually come to the surface will be our natural state of joy. You need support to maintain limited illusions like victimhood. You need to gather up a whole bunch of people to support you to be a victim. You need a lot of saviors and a lot of rescuers to support you. And in this classic scenario, a good friend, quote unquote, a good friend will feel victimized right along with you and feel just as angry and bitter and sad and depressed as you do. Well, that supposedly the actions of a true friend or a true lover or a dedicated wife or husband, etc. But those stupid, empathetic actions only serve to keep you in grief and emphasize the problem and expand the problem and make the problem grow, not help you find a solution, not help you improve your life. And a true friend, lover, or partner would actually be a real true friend, a real true lover, a real true partner, a real true wife, husband, would be the kind of person who, one, gets the hell out of town where there is no phone reception so that they don't have to become as depressed as you by listening to your poor me victim rant, or by trying to help you get out of your pit of despair that you have dug your own self into. And two, a true friend, lover, and partner is someone whose primary focus in life is actually feeling good by focusing on solutions and good feeling things and empowerment, not listening to your poor me, the world's done me wrong rant. Their primary, a good partner, a good friend, a good lover, is somebody who their primary focus is on feeling good more than making you feel good. Because it's not their job to make you feel good. Only you can make yourself feel good. Empathizing with somebody else's despair does not make them feel good. Just makes you feel like you get support. A true good friend, lover, partner, wife, husband, etc., and a good therapist is actually someone who sees you as an empowered creator and who calls you on the carpet and says, well, you are an infinitely empowered creator of reality. And you created that crappy situation with that crappy relationship, and you created it with your unlimited power and focus, your unlimited power of creation and your attention upon unwanted things. So, with that same unlimited power, you can just as easily and just as powerfully create something totally better, totally fun, totally amazing, totally wonderful. And you can create a happier, healthier, and more prosperous life and situation. But you're going to have to get clear about what you don't want. Because when you're clear about what you don't want, then you are clear about what you do want. A good friend and lover and good therapist would then see you as fully 100% empowered to do that. And they would see you as you truly are, which is a happy, healthy, wealthy, prosperous master of creation who has the complete power to create whatever you want. Because you're clear about what you don't want. Now you can focus on what you do want. And that's how you create what you do want, by focusing on what you do want. And leaving behind the old stuff that you don't want. All right, so law of attraction psychology principle number 4. It is not your partner, lover, husband's, wife's job, or your children's job, or your parents, relatives, friends, co-workers, bosses, society, politicians, government, military, police, etc.'s job to act in pleasing ways to keep you happy. And this impossible to live up to set of marriage vows that people agree to of, I will love, honor, and cherish you in sickness and health and in richer and poorer, does not work, because it is impossible to feel good if you're looking at unlikable and unlovable and unwanted situations. You're not supposed to look at unlovable things and try to love them. That's not even possible. And trying to manipulate yourself to do so, to try to love unlovable things, is crap therapy. I understand the theory behind it and its origin, which came from, more survival-oriented times when you needed to know who had your back and to ensure your emotional and physical survival. And if you feel, generally helpless and powerless, well, it's helpful to have another person or persons who feel similar ways to shore each other up as a couple, family and community in a country, etc., to again ensure each other's survival and to hopefully prosper by each other's support. And of course, misery does love company. But 2 or more disempowered people doesn't create empowerment. It doesn't create empowered people. 2 negatives does not make a positive. 2 disempowered people doesn't create an empowered couple. Contrary to what people believe. It just creates 2 disempowered people who are fighting for empowerment, first with the rest of society, but then between themselves. Disempowered people banding together to create power was a nice idea, but ultimately doesn't work and was a failure. It seems to work in the beginning for partnerships and marriages, etc., when both parties are on their best behavior to try and maintain love, sex, and affection, and to try and maintain this shaky relationship that is built upon an agreement to act in pleasing ways to keep each other happy. But soon, one or both partners feels trapped and imprisoned by this agreement to make the other partner's desires and happiness be a higher priority than their own. And then, of course, they feel resentful at always having to compromise and give up so many of their dreams and desires to maintain this shaky relationship and keep the other partner happy, and keep the children happy, and keep the relatives happy, etc., etc., etc. And that's when this unstable relationship, unstable families, unstable partnerships crumble like buildings made from straw rather than made from brick. And disempowered people band together in tribes and towns and cities and countries and nations and gangs, etc., with agreed upon values and religious and political and moral and ethical and sexual beliefs. Seems to work for a little while, as long as everyone agrees on the right way that we're supposed to think, act, and believe. But of course, the same scenario as our disempowered marriage rears its ugly head and society crumbles under the strain of basic natural diversity and every individual person's unique desires, and the individuals feel as trapped as those marriages because they are being told that it is their job to act in pleasing, agreed upon ways to keep everyone in society happy. In other words, everyone else's dreams, desires, and happiness are more important than your own. And of course, this is the nature of radical behavior and even criminal behavior and revolutions. And the biggest fault with that old style of nationalism and religious and political agreement, etc., is there is no right way to think, act, and believe. And no one can ever truly understand anyone else or agree with anyone else or believe the same way as anyone else or feel the same way as anyone else. And there is no such thing as a judgy God who has decided the right and wrong ways for us to think, act, and believe. Life on earth and all of creation is about delicious diversity, not some half-baked, bastardized version of unity and conformity. It should be called the diversiverse, not the universe. People only cling to agreement and supposed unity of belief so that they won't feel insecure and they will have some degree of certainty and feel some degree of clarity. But agreed upon belief is not true clarity. Happiness and clarity does not and cannot come from following other people's desires and mimicking agreed upon behavior. Happiness and clarity only comes from following your own desires and your own dreams and your own guidance and your own joy. No one will ever truly be happy banding together with others in agreed upon beliefs and behavior. No one will ever truly be happy living their life trying to please others at the expense of their own joys, dreams, and desires. And no society will ever truly be happy and be healthy and truly prosper trying to agree with each other. And certainly not trying to legislate agreed upon behavior or forcing other countries to believe like they do. Now, if you want a happy, healthy, wealthy, and fulfilling life, and if you want happy, healthy, wealthy, and fulfilling relationships, then first, you got to build up your own foundation of joy and prosperity, which is the strongest foundation you could ever build, because it is the natural foundation of what and who you truly are. Build that foundation deep into the bedrock by starting every day in joy and building a foundation that is not dependent upon other people acting in any certain ways to make you happy. Where your foundation is built upon good feeling thoughts and positive focus upon what you like, love, and appreciate, and what you want. Build your foundation of joy by understanding that the only way to create what you want is by focusing on what you want and appreciating what you don't like and don't want, because they have inspired your desire for something new and wonderful. And without the clarity of what you don't like and don't want, you would not have the clarity of what you do want and do like and want more of. And understand that it doesn't matter that you don't have the physical manifestation of what you want yet, because you can be happy anyway. And that's how you create what you want. That's how you know what will make you happy, by getting happy first. That's how you create what you want that you know will make you happy, by getting happy first. And if you build a foundation of personal joy that is independent of others, well, then you won't care if your lover or partner or child or parent or friend, etc., does something that is less than enjoyable, because your joy and happiness is not dependent on what they do or don't do, or what they think about you, or how they feel about you. What other people do or don't do is really none of your business. And you will be a million times happier the sooner you get your nose out of everyone else's business. And when other people are neck deep in the proverbial shit, well, you will be nowhere to be found. While they're in hell, you're off in the heavenly Bahamas. While they're on Lonely Street, you'll be on Love Street. While their bank account says zero, yours will be overflowing. While their health is rapidly deteriorating because they are focused on their shitty relationships and their zero bank account, well, you'll be full of health, well-being, energy, and vitality. And you are a much more powerful influence on their life by thriving and being in non-stop joy, well-being, and abundance, and not dipping down your vibration to their lower level, and instead staying high and thriving on every level so that they can maybe, just maybe, see and realize that they could also be thriving too if they followed your lead and focused on good feeling things and focused on what they want rather than always trying to vanquish enemies and get rid of unwanted things, and instead focus on wanted things and good feeling things that already exist in their lives and appreciate those things that they already have. You help no one, especially yourself, by listening to their problems and especially agreeing with their faulty, poor me, victim, they done me wrong, I can't get a break, there's no good men, women, money is hard, love's a bitch, bullshit, powerless, helpless victim rants and raves. You only serve to further disempower them by agreeing with their faulty assessment that they are helpless, powerless victims. And you being poor isn't going to help anyone prosper. And you being unhappy isn't going to help anybody be happy. Angry thoughts of revenge feels more empowered than a helpless victim, but it's still a lower vibration and just gets you deeper in shit when you try to keep it real. And then your story becomes a tragilarious skit on the Dave Chappelle show when keeping it real goes wrong. The question you always want to ask is, do you want to be right and vindicate your accusations so that everyone empathizes and agrees with your faulty premise of victimhood and agrees with your assessment that they done you wrong and maybe feel a little bit better for 5 minutes because you got their support, but then feel bad because you've acted like a judge, jury, and executioner and made someone else look bad in the eyes of others by making yourself look better than them by tearing them down? Or would you just rather feel good by leaving it alone and focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want, and instead focusing on lovely, joyful, beautiful things that are easy to like, love, and appreciate? Keeping it real, be right, or be happy. It's your choice. It's your choice. Be right or feel good. Prove to the world how superior and virtuous and ethical and Christian or spiritual or smart or sweet or lovable, etc. that you are, and how much of a shit other people are, and feel temporarily empowered in your smug superiority, which fades quickly as you feel shame and guilt for being judge, jury, and executioner, which causes you to become even more smugly prejudiced to get the same hit of empowerment like a drug, which you must escalate again and again and again and again until it turns you into a genocidal maniac. Or you can choose to feel good, and instead of keeping it real, you keep it unreal. Instead of focusing on unlovable reality that exists and sucks and isn't any fun and is no longer what you want, you keep it unreal. I keeps it unreal, baby. And you focus on vibrational reality, which isn't real yet. It's not physically real yet, but it is vibrationally real and can be emotionally real for you if you choose it to be, by focusing on the joyful, delicious feelings of you being, doing, or having it right now. Now, that was killer. Now, I hope these very enlightening words and divine guidance have inspired you to give up your old patterns of needing to be heard and understood so that others will empathize with you and feel sorry for you and change their behavior so that you can be happy, and who will, support you in your victimhood. But instead, you take full responsibility for your own joy and full responsibility for the creation of your own reality. And if you're passionate about creating a solid foundation of joy, well-being, and abundance in your life that is not dependent upon what other people think, say, believe, or do, where you are happy and free and thriving and prosperous and regardless of what anybody else is doing, and if you're keen to create for yourself a life of non-stop happiness, prosperity, love, and fulfillment, if you're excited to make your magically joyful life become a beautiful inspiration to other people, to inspire them to believe in their infinite power of creation to create anything that they desire, then I emphatically recommend my Master Keys of Success and Daily Success Rituals audio and video series, available at masterkeysofsuccess.com. All right, I hope you enjoyed this outrageously amazing Master Key to help you create and manifest your dreams and desires and help you become a conscious, deliberate creator of reality. If you did, share with your friends. Bless them with these amazing teachings. Come visit me at Zakairan.com for more self-empowering goodies to help you become a conscious, deliberate creator of reality. My name is Zakairan, and I help success-minded people create the happy, abundant lifestyle you love. Thanks again for watching my video or listening to this podcast, and I wish you immense joy and abundance on your magnificent journey of divine creation. And, of course, remember to make life a holiday. Woohoo!